question number 5. You have f of x equals 1 when x is greater than 0, f of x equals 0 when x is equal to 0, 1 when x is less than 0. So, அப்படினா என்ன அர்த்தம் 0 இருந்தது அப்படினா 0ல it is going to be 0. Then f of x is greater than 0, it is always going to be 1. If f of x is less than 0, it is always going to be minus 1. In the இடத்துல this is going to be a minus 1. Okay. So, this is the case. So, இது நம்ம 1 1 on to எப்படி prove பண்றது? When you talk about 1 1 case, let me first write the example. So, for example, x1 equals, இப்போ x greater than 0 case எடுத்துக்கிறேன். If x1 equals 1, I have f of x equals 1 ஏன்னா greater than 1. When x2 equals 2, I have f of x2 is also going to be 1. So, what do I see? I have f of x1 equals f of x2, but x1 is not equal to x2. So, from this condition, I can say that this is not 1 1. இதே மாதிரி நம்ம negative cases prove பண்ணலாம். இப்போ on to என்ன சொல்ல போறோம்? On to you have function from x to y. For every y belongs to y, there exists x belongs to capital X, where f of x equals y. அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல y oda range is going to be all real numbers, but all the values that you get are going to be 1, 0 and minus 1. Correct? So, your co-domain is only minus 1, 0 and 1, whereas your range is going to be all real numbers. So, what do you see here? Co-domain is not equal to range. Co-domain range equal it is going to be onto. So, from this you can say that it is not onto. Okay. Please copy. Question number 6. Let a b கொடுத்திருக்கு function கொடுத்திருக்கு b a function from a to b. Show that f is 1 1. அப்படினா என்ன அர்த்தம்? You have mapping பார்ப்போம் first. So, what are the values in a? It is going to be 1, 2 and 3. b ல என்ன இருக்கு? So, b ல I have 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay. So, you have to show that this is 1 1. So, 1 is mapped to 4, 2 is mapped to 5 and 3 is mapped to 6. So, on the input side, I see that each and every value is mapped to a unique value. Correct? You have 1, 4, you have 2, 5 and you have 3, 6. There is no repetition. Ella image me enava irukku, it is all unique, which means this is going to be a 1-to-1 function. Question la on to kekala, but what do you think about the on to? In the இடத்துல 7 is not used at all. So, this is not on to. Okay. Question la kekala, but I am just writing it for your clarity. Okay. Question number 7. In each of the following cases, state whether it is 1 1 and on to or bijective. Bijective na artham, it is both 1 1 and on to. 1 1 innum eppadi sollalam? Injectivity, injection. Okay, 1 1 is going to be 1 to 1, so injection, injectivity. On to na enna? Surjectivity. If it is both injective and surjective, it is going to be bijective. Okay, இந்த மாதிரி terms எல்லாம் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. எக்ஸாம்ல prove that it is injective அப்படினா திருத்திருன்னு முழிக்க கூடாது. ஏன்னா 1 1 நமக்கு நல்லாவே தெரியும். பேரை மாத்தனோனே மறந்துட கூடாது. Okay, so first subsection you have f of x equals 3 minus 4x. So, இப்போ 1 1 எப்படி prove பண்ணுவோம்? 1 1 you have f of x1 equals f of x2. So, you have 3 minus 4x1 equals 3 minus 4x2. So, I can cancel 3 and the 3. What am I left with? I have minus 4x1 equals minus 4x2. So, I can cancel the minus 4 and the minus 4. I'll be left with x1 equals x2. It is from r to r. So, f of x1 equals f of x2, x1 equals x2. So, the condition is going to be, it is 1 1. இப்போ on to என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? On to க்கு, what is the definition? Write it along with me. Function mapped from x to y. For every y belongs to capital Y, there exists small x belongs to capital X, for which f of x is equal to y. இப்போ நம்ம f of x என்ன? f of x equals 3 minus 4x. So, 3 minus 4x. இப்போ f of x என்னன்னு போடணும்? y in போடணும். y equals 3 minus 4x. இப்போ என்ன பண்ணணும்? x க்கு வேல்யூ எழுதணும். So, you have y minus 3 equals minus 4x. Minus ஆல multiply பண்ணா, you have 4x equals 3 minus y. x equals 3 minus y divided by 4. இப்போ y க்கு என்ன வேல்யூ போடலாம்? y க்கு 1 ன்னு போட்டா, I have x equals 3 minus 1 divided by 4, 2 by 4, 1 by 2. நம்மளோட range domain என்ன? It is going to be all real numbers. So, x க்கு this belongs to all real numbers and hence it is on to. So, final answer எப்படி எழுதணும்? Since it is எழுதாம function எழுதுவோம் decent. So, since f is both 1 1 and on to, it is bijective. Okay, that's all. Please copy. இப்போ subsection 2. So in the இடத்துலயுமே domain and range are going to be R to R. What is the function? f of x equals 1 plus x square. So what do we have? 1 1 க்கு என்ன prove பண்ண போறோம்? 1 1. You have f of x1 equals f of x2. So you have 1 plus x1 square equals 1 plus x2 square. So from this you have x1 square equals x2 square when you cancel the 1 and the 1. You take square root on both sides, you have x1 equals x2, but remember we are talking about real numbers, so you have plus or minus x1 equals plus or minus x2. So there is a problem, you have x1 equals x2, this condition is true, but இன்னொரு case இருக்கு, x1 equals minus x2 இருக்கும், minus x1 equals x2, so this is not satisfying the condition, so this is not 1 1. புரிஞ்சுதா? When you talk about the onto function, onto can have function from x to y. For every y belongs to capital Y, there exists x belongs to capital X, for which f of x equals y. So இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணா என்ன எழுதணும்? You have f of x equals என்னது? 1 plus x square. So you have 1 plus x square. So y equals 1 plus x square. So x square equals y minus 1. X equals plus or minus square root of y minus 1. இப்போ y ஓட value 3 னு போட்டா என்ன வரும்? You have x is equal to plus or minus root 3. But this does not belong to real numbers. So this is not onto. Okay? புரிஞ்சுதா? So this is not a bijective function. அதையும் எழுதிடலாம். So this is not bijective. Okay? Please copy. Question number 8. Let A, B be sets. Show that A cross B, B cross A such that f of AB equals BA is a bijective function. Okay? So இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? First function என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கான்? A cross B to B cross A. உல்டாவா ஆகுது. And what is given? It is also given the function என்ன? f of A comma B is going to be B comma A. Okay? So this is going to be the function. You have to prove that this is bijective. எப்படி பண்ண போறோம்? So இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல when you are proving a 1 1 function, instead of f of x1, I am going to take f of A comma B equals C comma D. இந்த இடத்துல ordered pairs ஆ கொடுத்திருக்கிறதுனால நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி எடுக்கிறோம். இப்போ f of AB என்ன? It is going to be the ulta. So you have B comma A equals இந்த பக்கம் என்ன வரும்? D comma C வரும். So what can you say from this? You have B equals D and A equals C. கரெக்ட்டா? இப்போ இந்த இடத்துலயுமே என்ன இருந்தது? You have A equals C and B equals D. So this is what you had in the beginning. So obviously this is true. So this is going to be a 1 1 function. Okay? அவ்வளவுதான் simple. Ordered pairs பார்த்தோனே பயந்துடக்கூடாது. So this is going to be the value. இப்போ onto. Onto எப்படி இருக்க போகுது? You have function from x to y. இந்த இடத்துல x to y கிடையாது. என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கு? அதை பார்த்து எழுதணும். You have A cross B to B cross A. இதுதான் நம்ம mapping. இதுல எப்படி இருக்க போகுது? For every B comma A belonging to B cross A, there exists A comma B belonging to A cross B. எப்படி நம்ம அந்த இடத்துல x y வச்சு எழுதுவோமோ அதே மாதிரி தான் எழுதணும். You have f of A comma B equals B comma A. அவ்வளவுதான், முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. That's all. This is the proof. இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கா? இருக்கு. எல்லா வேல்யூஸ்மே இருக்கு. Whatever value you put here, you're going to get the reverse of that. So that definitely belongs to the domain which is going to be B cross A. புரிஞ்சுதா? So this is going to be true. So this is onto. Since this is 1 1 and onto, this is going to be bijective. Okay? Please copy. Question number 9. Let n be defined by f of n equals n plus 1 divided by 2 when n is odd. Okay? இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? When I take some value for n which is going to be n is equal to 1 ன்னு எடுத்துக்கிறேன். So I have f of n is going to be n is odd caseல I have n plus 1 divided by 2 which is going to be 1 plus 1 divided by 2 which is 1. Okay? இப்போ n is equal to 2 ன்னு எடுக்கிறேன். So 2 னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? It is going to be an even number. So you have f of n is going to be n divided by 2 which is going to be 2 divided by 2 which is also 1. So இதுல இருந்து என்ன தெரியுது? If I take this to be my x1 and this is my x2, I have this is going to be f of x1 and this is going to be f of x2. I see that when proving 1 1, f of x1 equals f of x2, but clearly x1 is not equal to x2. So I have x1 is not equal to x2. Okay? So from these two, I can say that it is not 1 1. இப்போ onto என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? For onto, we have இந்த இடத்துல mapping என்ன? N to n. So for the function from natural number to natural number, for every y, இல்லையா? Y belongs to capital Y, there exists x belongs to capital X, for which f of x is equal to y. So இந்த இடத்துல நம்ம கேஸ்ல இருக்கிறது என்ன? f of n. When you take odd case first எடுப்போம். So when you take odd numbers, you have f of n equals n plus 1 divided by 2. n plus 1 divided by 2. இந்த இடத்துல இப்போ n valuesலாம் என்னவா இருக்க போகுது? You're going to take an odd number. Okay, இப்போ let me take x itself. இந்த இடத்துல x னே எடுப்போம். So you have f of x equals x plus 1 divided by 2, where x is going to be all odd numbers, which is going to be 1, 3, blah, 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 until 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1 na, it is going to be odd number. So, idan na substitute panna, I have f of 2n minus 1. Whenever I substitute an odd number, you are going to have 2n minus 1 plus 1 divided by 2, which is going to be, idu cancel aachuna, I have 2n divided by 2, which is going to be n. So, idhula enna theriyudhu, odd number substitute panna, I can get any n. It can be even, odd, eduva vena irkalam. 2n minus 1 da odd. N can be even or odd. Rendume irkalam. Ipo even numbers ku paapom. When you talk about even numbers, similarly, f of x is going to be x by 2. Illaya enna case kuduthirukku, indha edathila x by 2 kuduthirukku. N by 2 padala nama x by 2 nu eduthirkom. Where x is going to be all even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8 until 2n. இப்போ odd number க்கு எப்படி எழுதுவோம்? 2n minus 1. Even number க்கு எப்படி எழுதுவோம்? 2n எழுதுவோம். Okay? So, in such a case, when you substitute any even number, f of 2n, x ஓட value any even number இருந்ததுனா, you have 2n divided by 2, and this is again going to be n, where n is odd or even. அப்படினா என்ன அர்த்தம்? Your codomain is going to be all odd or even numbers, which is going to be everything. So, this is going to be on to. எல்லாமே cover ஆகுது. So, this is not 1, 1, but it is on to all the numbers. Odd substitute பண்ணாலும் even வரலாம், odd வரலாம். Even substitute பண்ணாலும் odd or even, ரெண்டுமே வரலாம். Okay? So, we are not missing out anything. எல்லா வேல்யூமே வந்துரும். Which means it is going to be on to. Okay? இப்போ, question number 10. A equals real number minus 3. 3 மட்டும் இல்லன்னு சொல்றான். மத்தபடி எல்லா real numbers. So, B is going to be real number minus 1. Consider a function from A to B defined by f of x equals this is f 1, 1 and on to justify your answer. Okay? இப்போ பார்க்கலாமா? So, இப்போ 1, 1 னா நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? 1, 1 is f of x1 equals f of x2, which means x1 minus 2 divided by x1 minus 3 equals x2 minus 2 divided by x2 minus 3. Now, when I cross multiply, என்ன ஆகும்? I have x1 minus 2, x2 minus 3 equals x2 minus 2 times x1 minus 3. இப்போ நான் உள்ள multiply பண்ண போறேன். I have x1, x2 minus 3 x1 minus 2 x2 plus 6 equals இந்த பக்கம் என்ன இருக்கு? x2 x1 minus 3 x2 minus 2 x1 plus 6. Can I cancel something? I have x1 x2 x1 x2 plus 6 இருக்கு, இங்கேயும் plus 6 இருக்கு. இப்போ இந்த பக்கம் என்ன இருக்கு? I can bring x1 and x2 to one side. So, I have minus 3 x1 plus 2x1 equals, இந்த பக்கம் இருக்கிற x2 அப்படியே வச்சிருக்கேன். Minus 3x2, this I am taking it to the other side. So, I have plus 2x2. So, from this I have minus x1 equals minus x2. Cancelling the minus, I have x1 equals x2. நம்ம எதில் ஆரம்பிச்சோம்? f of x1 equals f of x2, which means x1 equals x2. நம்ம condition satisfy ஆயிடுச்சு. So, from this, we see that this is going to be 1, 1. இப்போ on to 1 check பண்ணலாமா? How do you check an on to function? இந்த இடத்துல function goes from A to B. So, for every y belongs to B. இந்த இடத்துல நம்ம domain என்ன? It is going to be B. There exists x belongs to A. In the A, for which f of x equals y. So, இந்த இடத்துல நம்ம f of x என்ன? It is going to be x minus 2 divided by x minus 3. x minus 2, x minus 3. So, y equals x minus 2 divided by x minus 3. இப்போ நான் cross multiply பண்ணா, I have xy minus 3y equals x minus 2. இப்போ x termsையும் y termsையும் club பண்ணோம் இல்லையா? So, I have xy minus x equals minus 2 plus 3y. x club பண்ணா, I have y minus 1 equals 3y minus 2. So, I have x equals 3y minus 2 divided by y minus 1. And this definitely belongs to r minus 3 and check பண்ணோம்ல, இந்த இடத்துல r minus 3. So, this belongs to r minus the domain 3. And இங்கேயும் r minus 1 கொடுத்திருக்கான். So, that also it satisfies. So, y value should not be equal to 1, which means r is also not equal to 1. புரிஞ்சுதா? So, this satisfies. So, this is going to be on 2. Okay, please copy. Question number 11. F r to r is defined as f of x equals x power 4. Choose the correct answer. இப்போ x power 4 na அர்த்தம், you have f of x1 equals f of x2. You have x1 power 4 equals x2 power 4. But when you take 1 by 4 on both sides, in that you have to remember that it is all real numbers, so you will definitely have plus or minus. So, இதில் என்ன தெரியுது? You have x1 not equal to x2 and hence this is not 1, 1. Okay? Not 1, 1 பார்த்தாச்சு. இப்போ on 2 என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்? You have a function from x to y. So, for every y belongs to y, there exists x belongs to capital X, for which f of x is equal to y. இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? f of x equals x power 4. So you have y equals x power 4. So இப்போ even if you take x value to be minus 1, you have y equals 1. இப்போ x value 1 ன்னு எடுத்தாலும் you have y equals 1, which means the value of y is always going to be a positive value. It can never be negative. கரெக்டா? அப்ப நெகட்டிவாவே இருக்க முடியாதுனா it is not mapping all the elements that are in the output. So this is not onto. புரிஞ்சுதா? Please copy. Question number 12. f of x equals 3x. So இது prove பண்ணலாமா? So இப்போ 1, 1 அப்படினா you have f of x1 equals f of x2. So 3x1 equals 3x2. You can cancel the 3 and the 3. So what do you have? You have x1 equals x2. So the condition is satisfied. So this is going to be 1, 1. இப்போ on 2 க்கு நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்? On 2 க்கு you have function from real number to real number. இப்படியும் எழுதலாம். So எப்படி எழுதுவோம்? For every y belonging to real number. இப்படியும் எழுதலாம். There exists x belonging to real number for which f of x equals y. So இப்போ f of x என்ன நம்ம questionல it is going to be 3x. So you have y equals 3x. X equals y divided by 3. இப்போ y equals 1 னா x is going to be 1 by 3. But நம்மளோட domain என்ன? It is all real numbers. So this belongs to real numbers. So this is going to be on 2. Okay? புரிஞ்சுதா? So இதுல எந்த option இந்த இடத்துலயும் option போடல பாரு. Not 1, 1, not on 2. So this is going to be option D. And the last question is going to be 1, 1 and on 2. So option A. Okay? So with this we are done with this particular topic. Let's move on to the next topic. அது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப குட்டி topic. அதுலேருந்து ஒரு 1 mark 2 mark questions வரலாம். அதனால pay attention. Okay?